Timothy, hundreds of thousands of abductions, you said. That's an army. Where are they? Where are they? Are they
they're all
walking
over the
amongst
place.
us? Is it Joe Biden? I mean, do they look like us? Do they talk like us? I mean, like.
Well, sure. I mean, abductees come from every walk of life. They're your neighbors. Like I said, it might be your doctor, it might be your congressman.
But the product of it, the babies, where do those babies
go?
go?
Oh, the hybrids.
And are they walking amongst us?
I believe they are. I think that the purpose of the abduction program is to progenerate human alien hybrids that are for all intents and purposes indistinguishable from the rest of us.
So quite literally, just to make this a point, some of our sitting congressmen, I mean, we wouldn't have an idea of who these beings are that are partially human, partially not, correct?
No, I don't know how high up the echelon these hybrids have climbed in terms of, if they're sitting members of Congress at this point. I would say that's probably unlikely, and the reason why I think that is because David Jacobs did a lot. Dr. David Jacobs did a lot of good research into this topic, and he wrote a book. His last book was called "Walking Among Us," which was his final published material in regard to the abduction phenomenon. And in that book, Jacob zeroes in on this, what he calls hybrids, human alien hybrids, advanced human alien hybrids. He calls them hybrids. And because he's been interfacing with thousands of abductees over his career. And again, his career wasn't an abduction researcher. His career was a history professor at Temple University. The abduction stuff was sort of his hobby. And
wow.
And he discovered that a lot of the abductees were being forced to interact with these advanced human alien hybrids. And their job, the abductees' job, was to introduce the hybrid into human society and to teach them how to operate, how to function in human society without looking too abnormal. So they were teaching them to, how do you use a television? What do you do with a refrigerator? How do you go to Walmart and buy things? How do you check out? How do you check out at the grocery store? How do you, how do you look? How do you operate in society to where you're not drawing attention to yourself? That's basically what was going on. And that was some years ago. I think that book was released in, I want to say 2016. I'm looking at my bookshelf. I don't remember. It was some years ago. And so let's assume that's true, that there are human alien hybrids walking among us, and that some of these abductees are having to sort of introduce them into human society and teach them the basics of living in society. Then it would seem unlikely then that those human alien hybrids who are learning how to use a refrigerator are now in Congress, or are now the presidents of universities or something like that.
Well, then again, everything you just described, how to function in society, how to walk, open a refrigerator, I mean, God, it just sounds like Joe Biden, but...
Touche.